now because you can see the bottom layer. Thank you, Elaine. But it is blue on blue, so it'll just be okay, right? And we're gonna make sure that our little hanger thing is at the top. Oh, that's hilarious. The dog knows my voice. Melinda is asking for extra prayer. She's having, absolutely, Melinda. Abso-freaking-lutely. We will all raise your name up. Okay, so I think this is ready. I put this on so thick, y'all. I was worried it was not gonna dry in time, but I think it's good. It's good, it's good. A little bit of crackle going on. Let me show you what we did. All right, I'm gonna scoochie this over. So I had in my repertoire, I have a little bin for all the different colors of like nipped glass. Because, you know, back in the day when I would get bored, I would just nip things, break things, and then collect them and wait till I needed them. So I found this whole little bin of white nips, and I thought we are going to make a daisy. I really originally wanted a sunflower because, you know, I'm obsessed with sunflowers. And then I took that picture of the sunflower peeking over my fence. And I thought, let's make a sunflower. But then I didn't really have any yellow. I had a little bit of yellow, not enough, and it wasn't the prettiest yellow ever. All right, so I had a sheet of white. It's like a white square of glass, and these all got nipped out of that, right? A million years ago. Now, I did find a tiny piece of, hang on, let me get my plate so we don't squeeze glass everywhere. I did find a tiny bit of white. Now the sheet glass comes in like 12-inch squares, okay? This is just a remnant of said sheet glass. This is just a little piece that was left over. So all I did was take my nippers, and all you gotta do is put your nippers onto your sheet glass. See how we have it? It's about a 1/4 inch in that way, and squeeze. And wear your gloves because, you know, that's just the smartest thing to do. And squeeze. And you end up with these little nips. Now, sometimes they're bigger, sometimes they're smaller. That one's kind of small. Oh my gosh, it's sunshiny here. I'm gonna just nip that off. It's sunshiny here. Now, if I go a little further in, and normally I will line up my blade with the edge of that glass and squeeze, all right? But if I tilt my blade towards the back a little, towards this side, and squeeze, whoops, well, normally you would end up with a little bit bigger nip, okay? So practice with sheet glass. You can even practice with like picture frame glass. Go to the Goodwill and find a bunch of those 50-cent picture frames that have glass in them and practice with that. And just nip bigger. Look at that one. That was a monster. Nip a little bitty, and you can get teeny tiny ones, and just practice that, okay? But that is where all of these came from. Now, what else I have are some leaves. Now, this was a vase. I think I used these in boot camp. This was a round vase, probably from either the Goodwill or Home Goods. And I just nipped little pieces and shaped them into leaves. So that's gonna be our leaves for this project. So it was really pretty. I don't know if you can see the texture of that vase. Absolutely, you can use the wheeled nippers. This glass is just a little thinner, so I like to use these. You can use these. Let me show you all the nippers that I have, all right? So I have wheeled nippers. These literally came from Hobby Lobby a million years ago. That little handle's coming off, and I swear to you, I cannot get it back on. All right, so then I have these flat nippers. And I have these that came from either Home Depot or Lowe's, not sure. They are also wheeled nippers, but they're heavy duty and they touch, which I like better than these because these don't touch. And last but not least, I have these nippers, which are supposed to be good. They're Brita. I don't even know if they make these anymore, but they're supposed to be good if you have arthritis, which I have. But they freak me out because they're angled and I just can't deal with it. My brain can't wrap around why I get myself twisted. I'm like, where do I put it? Where do I put it? But yeah, these came from either Home Depot or Lowe's. They are fantastic and they're really good they're heavy duty, so they're really good for super thick glass. All right, so those are that's my nipper situation. But these are pretty much interchangeable. These are really good. These and the heavy duty ones from Hobby Lobby, from Home Depot, or when I have thicker glass, this is what I use, okay? Thicker glass on these cheap ones from the Hobby Lobby will break your wheels, okay? It'll tear your wheels up, so. Gel glass sometimes has the Brita brand. There we go. Y'all keep your eye on that if you like those. If you like them. They are just awkward for me, and I can never wrap my head around them. It's like, oh, where do I put the blade? What do I do? What do I do? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our pretty board that has a nice little tone-on-tone crackle, and we're going to form a daisy, and we're gonna do it in layers, okay? So we're gonna kind of do this backwards. Oh, that's a great idea, Brenda. That is a great idea. So what we're gonna do is, my brain just stopped. It just was like, time out. I'm done having a conversation. I'm done thinking. We're going to add a layer of resin, and then we're gonna put a layer of our nips down all the way around, and we're gonna add a few yellow seed beads in the center, and then we're going to put a little bit of resin, and we're gonna layer a little bit of resin, layer, okay? Now, when you're doing this, you need to have all your things prepared, all right? You need to be prepared because you only got about 45 minutes of working time with your resin, so you want to make sure you have all your things nipped and all the things that you're going to use ready and prepared. I'm trying to get the top off this booger. I don't want to mix resin until I'm ready to go. There we go. So I'm going to pour some of this into a cup. And these are this is Hobby Lobby. And is glass seed beads. They're size 6-0, yellow luster. So I'm going to just pour some right into there so that we're ready with that. And we're going to mix. We never mix resin first. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to mix a little bit of resin and we're going to start layering. And here's why we're doing it that way. We're going to layer up all this glass on top of glass, on top of glass, on top of glass. Now, when it's flat glass, like these pieces, it's really, the resin doesn't get between like these two pieces, okay? When it is, thank you, Catherine. When it is crushed glass, because it's three-dimensional and different shapes, it kind of rolls around it and helps adhere that together. But these flat pieces won't adhere together as well because they're flat. There's nowhere for the resin to go. So because we're going to try to use all of this and really give our flowers some dimensionality, we are going to do our resin. We're going to put a layer, resin, layer, resin. Yes, it's an 8 by 10. Let me write that on something. 8 by 10. Let me write it on this. Right there. And we'll do Sharpie. 8 by 10. And it's a board, okay, from Hobby Lobby, so it hangs. Okay? So I think I'm gonna make an ounce and a half. That is probably way more than I need, but I'd rather have a little too much than be at the end and go, okay, we can't add another layer because we are out of resin. So we're not gonna do that. So I'm gonna go ahead, an ounce and a half is 3/4 and 3/4. So I'm gonna mark my cup at 3/4 on this one. And 3/4, where's that line? My eyeball's failing me. 3/4 on this one, and then we'll get to mixing. Yes, Amy, it is the same board. I had a couple left over in a box, so I thought, well, let's use it. But you could do this on a canvas. The Crackle's a little harder to manipulate on the canvas. Yeah, I make sure I do that. It's at the top. I've never used diamond dust, Kathleen. So if there's anybody here who has used diamond dust with her resin, if you'll help her out, that would be great. Do you ever put a sublayer of clear to bring the color higher? Not really. I mean, you could, but I don't know. I'm a old dog, can't teach an old dog new tricks kind of girl. So I've just never have. And especially for like alive, but we'll try that one time and see how it works out. See if it makes a difference. Have you done that? Catherine says the diamond dust seems to disappear. Thank you, Cheryl. All right, so let me get my gloves on, and we're gonna go ahead and mix our resin, and then we're just gonna get started. Get this party started. I'm not gonna take this ring off. I'll set it on the counter, and then I'll be like, oh, these gloves are tight. Thank you, Karen. Gina, you're so funny. Man, these gloves are tight. I don't know where this box of gloves came from. I got big old hands, y'all. And I just busted it. See? These gloves are too small. I got big old hands. Well, hello, Gina. Nice to see you. Oh, I'm gonna bust it again. Hang on, y'all. Losing my mind here. All right, so let's get our resin poured. So we have our stem. We're gonna use this fun stem. Don't ask me, I don't know. It just was in a box of glass bits, so we're gonna play with that. We're gonna use that for our stem just because it's super cute, but you could totally use, be right back gets around, that's true. You could totally use Vitrograph or just even paint your stem or whatever you have on hand, all right? So let's pour some resin. Let's do our hardener first, and it's gonna be 3/4 of an ounce of hardener. Slow your roll, Cindy Lynn. 3/4 of an ounce of hardener. Boom. And yes, Rhonda, never do that. Oh my gosh, I have never done that in my life. That's our hardener. This is our resin. I'm the kind of person who I'll wash my hands 100 times a day because I don't like stuff on my hands. I don't like paint on my hands. I don't like my hands to be dirty. So I would never resin. The minute one little bit of resin gets on my hands, I'm like panicking and trying to get it off. So yeah, no way, Jose. All right, so we got resin and hardener, and I lost my little sticky. So I'm gonna dump it in this bigger cup. I thought I had some 2-ounce cups, but actually let's dump it in this cup. Let's don't waste a mix and measure cup. Let's use this solo, the solo. All right, so let's dump them both. Catherine is gonna time. And y'all, I'm gonna tell you this. If you didn't buy the subscription box, we still have like 6 boxes left. And I'm like, y'all, come on. I want these boxes gone. Y'all have been so wonderful getting these boxes. But we still have like 6 left. So if anybody is still interested in the quarterly subscription box, you need to go grab it. It's super cool. It's our fall version, and it is gonna be, I'll show it to you when we're done here if you are interested. So let me ditch that, and we're gonna mix for 3 minutes. I'm actually gonna do this. I'm gonna move this out of the way. I'm gonna move this out of the way, and I'm gonna let you peruse. I'm gonna let you take a look-see at our finished project for our fall box. Boom. And if you really want one, we still have 6 left. We'd love to send you one. If you think you were a subscriber and you haven't received one, email us. You should have gotten an email that said it was on its way. And yeah, they had leaves in them. Every single one. I looked at them all myself. Please don't tell me you didn't have leaves. They're in a bag with the acorns. Okay, stir, stir, stir. So yeah, we have like 6 left, so we'd love to send you one. Stir, 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 scrape, scrape. Y'all, I have to tell you this too. You know, last week, like 4th of July week, the day of 4th of July and the 5th, the 4th and the 5th, it was like 1,000 degrees here. I don't know what the temperature was in your neck of the woods over the 4th of July holiday, but it was so stinking hot. Becky, did you have your acorns? I swear to you, I looked at every bag. I'm losing my mind. Because I looked at every bag. And you know I don't have any. I'm going to have to make some. Okay. Back to this. Yeah. And then like 2 days ago, it was like 79 degrees outside. I was like, it feels like September. What the heck? And it was not in the bag with your acorns. What? Oh, Lord. Rennie, there were so many fireworks. I got so overheated 4th of July, and they were shooting off fireworks. It really, no, Becky, you're getting your leaves. I'm going to have Kristen make some, or have Courtney make some, because Kristen and I will be on vacation. And we will get those to you ASAP, I promise. Already wrote your name down, and all the leaves were the same. There were 2 sizes of leaves, little ones, like this. See? That's a little one, and then there's 2 that are a little bit bigger. So, oh, thank you, Catherine. I'm gonna give it one more whirl because I got sidetracked. It is cardstock, and we used literally 14 different colors mixed with alcohol to spray different colors on the, let me move this, on the leaves to get a variety of color. Okay, let's go back here. Everything's nice and dry. It's okay, Becky. We're gonna send you some. I'm gonna get Courtney to make you some tomorrow, and we'll get them out to you. No worries. No worries. All right, I'm gonna grab, let's see. Gina, I'm trying to see, let me grab, I'm so lost, y'all. I don't know where half my stuff is right now because it's all organized, and now I'm like, I don't remember, there it is. I don't remember where I put anything, and it's making me crazy. Being organized is not all it's cracked up to be. All right, I'm gonna just put a dollop of resin right on my piece. And let's just go ahead and spread it kind of thin because we are gonna be layering resin on resin on resin onto our glass. So we want to put this on fairly thin so that we don't end up with so much resin it's just running all over the place, okay? So to do this first layer, just thick enough to cover your surface. Not much at all. Yeah, I actually posted a link to some leaves, some wood, laser cut leaves I saw at Hobby Lobby. They're actually in the wood, like the raw wood departments. Catherine painted some, they were spectacular. They're in the raw wood department, little laser cut fall leaves. So that would totally work. All right. So we got one thin coat of resin, and we're gonna move. Oh no, Lord have mercy, no tornadoes. So I am going to first, I'm gonna lay in just a little bit of this yellow, which is gonna be my flower center. So I'm just gonna throw in, and then I'll kind of arrange them how I want them, just so I know where my center is going to be so I don't get lost and go crazy. Now let's kind of move them around and make a circle. And then we'll start adding our petals. And then we'll beef this up too. I just want to have like an idea of where my center is going to be, okay? So now here are my leaves. We're gonna set those up there. And here's my stem. We're gonna set that there. And I'm gonna start with the biggest petals that we have. Let me grab and just separate real quick some of the longer ones. Long one, long one, long one. I probably should have done this ahead of time. I'm just gonna go ahead and start laying them down, okay? So I'm gonna just start like right here because I think we're gonna do our petal kind of like that. Yeah. So I'm just gonna start layering in some of the longer of the petals. Look at this long sucker. Stay where you're supposed to be. And I like to like make an X and then kind of fill in right up next to your center. And that one's kind of pointed downward. That one's kind of cool. And just fill in your centers. Let's see, long, long, long one. Here's a long one. And then you're gonna go back and you're gonna just fill in your centers again. We need to squish one into there. Let's do this one. Look how cool that one is. All right. This is a long one. We're just going to, hang on. Squeeze them in until I kind of like the way they look. Let's see. Till I have enough that I can do another layer. So I really want there to be a minimal amount of space between the petals so that when I pile my next layer, hang on, come on, scoot over there. When I pile my next layer on, it will have space to lay. So let's put another one in here. And we're gonna scoot that, and we'll put another one in here, and then I think we'll be good. Let's do this little fatty. All right, so now here's what we're gonna do. So see how much space is between these? Oh, I'm gonna lay my stem right on top, like boom. I'm gonna leave it right there so we'll know. We're gonna pile up those yellows, right? So now here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my resin and I'm gonna drizzle right on top of this white petal glass. It doesn't have to be 1,000% covered or even 100. I just wanna make sure my next layer has something to stick to. Get out of the way. So this is why I said do a very thin first layer, because as we add more and more, it's just gonna get more and more resin. As you add more and more resin, it's gonna get more and more resin. That was so dumb. All right, so now we're gonna keep working small to large. So I'm just gonna start taking a couple pieces and I'm gonna pile them right on top of 2 petals, okay? So look at this one. This one is so fun. So I'm just gonna lay it right on the top there. And we're just gonna keep doing that. We'll do this one here. Let me move that petal a second. Move that stem. All right. This one's pretty big. So we're just layering. I actually bought this sheet glass from Hobby Lobby. Trying to find my bigger pieces. And we'll put one there. So I'm kind of filling those gaps between that first layer of petals. You're just filling in those gaps right there. And this is a little fatty. We'll put him here. Oops. Get yourself where you're supposed to be. See it? And as you layer, it starts to become more dimensional, right? Looks cool, don't it? I think that one will be okay there. Remember to stay out of the middle as much as you can. Let's do this piece. Like this. And this one, super cool. I'm like, what do I do? Like that. Don't try to make them all line up perfectly. I mean, look at a flower in nature. The leaves are going all different directions. So don't try to make them perfect. That is not natural. Let's turn there. So I'm filling in the gaps. We really need it. I'm gonna move this because I need something here. We'll just have to lay that on top somewhere. All right, and let me put a little there. Now we'll leave that space for the stem. All right, so we're gonna do it again, another layer. We're gonna keep going. All right, so I'm gonna go right over the top, especially where they're touching on those ends, those inside pieces. And don't dilly-dally. You don't want to go so slow that your resin starts to get thick and hard. You want to kind of be prepared and don't overthink it so that you end up with bad resin. All right, so let's keep going. Who knows how many layers we're gonna end up with. We'll put that one there. And here. This one's cool. Let's grab it. I'm making a mess on, thank you, Terry. Making a mess on my desk. Here. Oh, my fingers, my whole fat finger is not even at the end. Look at that, because my hand's so fat. I got big fingers. All right. We'll fill in here. I'm just going around in a circle, filling in the little gaps between petals, giving it dimension. It's dimensioned. Oops. Stephen Gray, one of the girls did not get leaves in her box.
Say that again.
One of the ladies did not get leaves in her box.
They did not get...
In their subscription box.
They did not get leaves in their subscription box?
That is what she said. So I think that we may have to... Who should we fire? JK, man, JK. Don't panic. All right, let's keep going. Right there. And let's put one right there. See how it's just getting, I'm using smaller and smaller pieces, so it's really starting to pop. Let's use this one. I'm gonna scoot that into there. Poop. That little extra long finger thing there is driving me crazy. And here. I use my little stick sometimes to get them where I want them. My little pokey, my little glue stick. Scoot over. See, and you can use like a toothpick or a bead awl like this to kind of scooch things around, get them where you want them, make sure everything's placed in a happy place. And I don't have any resin on that little piece. So let's do this. And let's do, it's looking pretty cool, isn't it? What do you guys think? Yes, I will post the link as soon as we're done here. Or maybe if Catherine or Becky can do that while I am deep in it. I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna stick that one in there. All right, I've got a few more, so we're just gonna do another layer. What do you think? Should we? I think we should. Let's just drizzle a little bit more. And I've mixed way too much, as I figured. We're gonna measure and see how much I have left. And we'll kind of figure out how many layers of leaves I did. Petals, not leaves, petals. And see how much I used and let you know that for sure. Because I can tell you right now, it's too much. Too much. My little thing. All right, let's do here. And maybe a cute little baby one right here. And we're gonna stick this one in the middle right there. Now, we don't have enough to go all the way around, so I'm just gonna kind of skip around. And we'll see what happens. We'll do this one here. Yeah, I haven't even packed, so I need to go home and pack, or you know I would. You know I would do it if I had even thought about packing. Steve and Beckham are leaving tomorrow as well. They are going to Vegas to see the Grateful Dead, or I guess it's called, what's it called then? Dead and Company, now that Garcia is gone. They're going to see Dead and Company at the Sphere, my little deadheads, in Las Vegas. This is such a cute little piece right here. Look how cute that one is. It's kind of wiggly, irregular, but we like it that way, right? We're gonna lay it right there. Let's get him where we want it. Come on. And I got one more. And then I'm going to micromanage things because I can't help myself. I'm going to get a little push things around, make sure they're where I want them. Y'all, that is so cute. Oh my gosh, how many layers is that? 1, 2, 3.5 layers. All right, let's get this in. And here's what I'm going to do here before I do anything else to the flower. I'm just going to drip on a little bit of resin on this stem, and then I'm just going to use my gloved hand to spread it around. Joan, no doubt. No doubt. That is me to a T. All right, so then we're going to stick our little stem in. I feel like I need one little piece. I'm gonna find one. Oh, look at you. Look at you. The ones I just cut. One I just cut. We're gonna stick that right in there. And I want one more. See? That's why we cut them. And we'll stick that right there. Now we're gonna, oh, my back itches, y'all. Oh. I got an itch. Okay, take a breath. Now, yeah, I'm gonna get the leaves on. I'm gonna go ahead and drizzle some on top because they're kind of wiggly right now. So I wanna make sure they're nice and secure. Then we're gonna add our leaves, and we're gonna add some more beads. All right, so now we're gonna do our leaves. I think I'm gonna do one right on top. Let's see. I'm gonna just divvy out some resin right on top of there. And let's do, I'm tempted to do it there, but it wouldn't be that. It wouldn't be like that, right? So we're gonna do one there. And then we'll do one down here. Just butter your glass with a little resin. Spread it. And, oops, there's some hair. And we'll do like one like that. Let me get rid of that little fuzz ball. I gotta change gloves. This one is coming off my fingers and they're so sticky I can't deal with it. Let's change them. Get new ones. Oh goodness. Last pair. Gotta make this work. If I bust this, we're in trouble. Just butter your glass with a little resin. Oh, my hands are so sticky and moist now from sweating. Oh, y'all. Steven, I need a pair of gloves. I just busted one. And I don't have no mop. I don't care whatever's back there. Sorry, y'all. Steve gotta go get me some gloves. I'm not resining without them. Yes, Phyllis, this actually is not a whole piece. This is probably a half a sheet or less, but I nipped this a long time ago, but I still had like a half a sheet left. So I know that, oh my God, I can't even get this on my hand. Mary said this will be so pretty in her kitchen. I can't get the glove on my hand. Oh, I hope he brings me some bigger gloves. What size are those?
Large.
Oh, thank gosh. I think these are medium. Thank you, dear.
Kid saves the day.
You are the man. Oh, this is so much better. Oh, yes. Especially when your hand's already been in the glove and it's kind of sweaty feeling. Oh, y'all look. Ah. I did hone it after I nipped it. I honed it with a honing stone. This is my little stone. They're not my friend, are they? Oh, that's a great idea, the cornstarch. What a great idea. Yeah, I don't sell the nipped glass. I just sell the crushed. We sell crushed glass and we sell glass strips. We do not sell the nips. All right, so let's continue. I'm gonna add a little to the middle and I'm gonna add a little more to our leaves and a little more. I'm thinking you could probably get away with just, what I do, 1.5 ounces. You could probably get away with just 1 ounce, but the more layers, the more you need. So keep that in mind. I'm just gonna spread some of that out a little. All right. Now let's pile on. What do you think? Let's add our sepia. That's right, Mary. That's hilarious. All right, so let's add more seed beads and get back where you're supposed to be. And we're gonna add a little bit of resin on top because we're gonna build it up. We do not have red glass. We were out for the holiday and we had a sale and all our red glass sold out. And it takes us about a week to make it. And so we do not have any and probably won't until next week. So let's add a little more. Then we'll add a little more of this. I want it to be fat. I want it to stick out, like stand up. Now we'll move it around. It's so easy to nip. These little pieces are so simple to nip, y'all. And you know, when I nip, I don't even micromanage it. It is what it is. All right, I'm gonna go around my edge. Used all that. And look, I'm gonna give it one more just little drizzle just to make sure it's all encapsulated. And then I'm gonna overdo it by just dumping the rest of this resin on my petals. just so it's not wasted and I don't feel like I have to make something else because I don't have time. I gotta go. I gotta pack. I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Not complaining, never complaining about what time I gotta get up to go on vacation, right? Never. Drizzle. Drizzle. All right, now look how pretty this is. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Look at the dimension of that. Is that not spectacular? Oh, y'all, that is even better than I imagined. Absolutely, it could be made onto a canvas. Is that not gorgeous? I was gonna add like something down at the bottom and maybe some other glass, but I think we're gonna let this be. We're gonna let this stand just as it is. I am gonna clean up my mess just a little bit, and then I'm gonna take these gloves off, and I'm gonna take it off until I wipe up my mess, and I'll use one of Gina's wipes to fix that. I'm taking my daughter to the beach for a long weekend for her 41st birthday. Her first plane trip ever. She's never been on a plane, and she hasn't been to the beach in so long it makes me sad. So yes. Taking my baby on a trip. She deserves it. She works very hard to make sure you guys have all the things you need, so. Closer inspection. All right, let's hit this with our heat gun. Yes, this was the Crackle board from last week. The Crackle kind of got lost in translation because I did another layer over the top, but it is our Crackle piece from last week. I just moved a bunch of glass too, so. No, that's my son and daughter-in-law, Winnie, that have a new baby. This is my daughter. All right, I lost this petal. Let's get that back where it should be. Come on, cutie. All right, I think that's good. Get off my stick. And I think we're good. Now keep in mind, when you crackle, it's going to also resist a little in some of that spots, but I also didn't let my paint dry long enough, so mine is really kind of resisting in some of those crackle areas, but check it out. I don't mind because I don't mind. Yeah, check it out. Yes, Nancy, everybody. Is that not spectacular? Let me see. My picture is like not updated. Let me look so I can see what y'all can see. There we go. That is so pretty, y'all. The dimension, I wish you could see it how I can see it. Oh, thank you, Margaret.